Hey, what is up, guys? Hope y'all are doing good. I'm doing well. You are watching Passive Earnings, and in this video, I'll talk about why I sold off ULTY and why I invested in a new security. Basically, it is again a high yield income oriented ETF, but it is far safer than ULTY. So, back in the day, I bought ULTY when the average price was going at $6.22. And what I did back then is I spent some $1,600 or so on buying Alti shares. What I got was 258.6 shares of Alti. This was an experiment. If you are new to this channel, I wanted to tell you that this was less than 1% of my total investment at that time. $1,600 was less than 1% of my total portfolio value. My main portfolio stands around 230,000 US dollars. And then I have Roth IRA and 401k separately as well. But in this specific portfolio, I was trying to test Yield Max product Ulti when it was flying high. At that point, my average cost came out to be $6.22 for almost 258.6 shares. So that was the strategy. I was supposed to just put in one time, make an investment basically of $1,600 and let it run and see how much money can I make in dividends. What I've seen since then is you guys can follow me from here onwards. On August 8th was the actual first dividend that got paid. I did get paid a dividend here as well, but that wasn't for all the 258 shares. The first dividend that I got was $25.94. Another one for 26. Then it hovers around $26 for another week or so. End of August, it dropped below 25, and then 23.24, then 24, and hover around 24 for the rest of September. In October, it dropped below $24, and in the recent end of October, it came down to $22. And the latest one on November 6th, I got paid less than $21. So I've I would say that it's not too far off if I were to say that it can actually drop below $10 in the coming years. Not even years, actually, coming months, I would say. And the problem with that is your initial investment would still be there. And if your dividends are dropping and dropping fast to $10, then the yield on cost is being dropping significantly, because my initial investment was an almost total investment was $6.22 per share. That was my initial cost, right? But then if I'm making only $10 for more than 258 shares, then it's not even, 40%. But when I signed up, it was showing that at that current price, the yield was over 80%, which again, I'm not gonna say anything wrong here and be very cognizant of the words that I use, but I personally do not see Alti as a good fit for my income portfolio. My income portfolio is ideally generating me more than 8% income so that I can eat off of 5% and then reinvest 3%, or the more the better. But then it should not see a decline in the principal value, which you can see from $6.22 to $4.54. So when I got out of Alti, I got paid $1,174. I used a separate calculator as well, in which I completely showed you the implications of Ulti and how much you have to reinvest to recoup your principal balance within a year. And if I would have been invested all these dividends back in Ulti, I probably would have had close to 400 shares by now. But then again, 400 shares are not paying enough to for me to collect enough dividends. At the end of the day, it all comes down to depreciating dividends. If it's not giving me more dividends, or at least keeping it consistent, having more shares would not make any difference, because it's just gonna balance out the thing. Mainly the number of shares increasing and dividend decreasing basically would result in the same amount of dividends, if that makes any sense. So what did I buy? instead of ULTY, the $1,174 that I got, I invested in KQQQ. KQQQ is beating the triple Qs or NASDAQ 100 index. That is the prime example of the ETF that I would love to invest in. Although the expense ratio is over 1% for KQQQ, but Kurv has a great strategy where they have complete transparency. So instead of using derivatives, or instead of using, any tricky, ELNs, or issuing any ELNs and doing all sorts of stuff that JP Morgan does with JPEQ, this ETF KQQQ keeps it simple. It shows its holdings. It shows that it holds Google at 11%. It shows it holds Treasury bill of close to 11%, Amazon, Broadcom, Apple, Meta, and Nvidia. And then they clearly sell cover calls actively on those shares that they hold. So I invested in them, and then if you see here, you have the total investment which I got from $1,174, selling ULTY 258 shares, and I got close to 40 shares here. With the rest of my portfolio, what I'm trying to do here is build a portfolio that is able to sustain the principal balance, meaning keep the principal balance same or little bit growing, but at the same time give me more than 1.1% dividends that SPY or S&P 500 index ETFs are giving. So I have SCHD in this portfolio. I have SPMO in this portfolio. Then for high yield, I have QQQI, a NEOS product on triple Q, and BTCI, which is another NEOS product for Bitcoin. And the only decline that I've been seeing is on BTCI of close to 12%, and that is because Bitcoin itself is going down, and it has dropped from $124,000 to today's value of $102,000 per Bitcoin. And that is why you will see a decline in BTCI as well. But the good thing with BTCI and QQQI, both of them, is when BTC or Bitcoin see appreciation, they both will see appreciation based on if there are Bitcoin related ETF or a triple Q related ETF. So based on the index, they move up as well. So it's not like ULTY, which goes down and kept going down because it is draining all its NAV or giving the money back basically of investors. So it's a return of capital. This is uh, not going to be the case for BTCI. BTCI, of course, says that they are giving return of capital for their dividends, but they are not paying crazy amount of dividends. And if I can show you guys here, I did collect $4 in my last dividend ex-dividend date. So on the pay date, I got $4.15, which I reinvested as I have drip on here. And then I'm contributing $62.50 to these three SEHG, QQQI, and BTCI every single month on 19th. And I am investing whatever was coming from ULTY as dividend. I was investing in SPMO and buying more Ripple or XRP because I have now more than 726 Ripples there. So what's the plan for moving forward? I will keep on reinvesting KQQQ dividends back in it because it is beating the index that it is based on, and hopefully what this will do to the portfolio is it will stop the bleeding that I've seen here. So in the last 3 months, I am down 8.52% specifically on this portfolio, but I have another portfolio as I told you guys, and that portfolio is here. This portfolio is my main portfolio that you can see. It is over $235,000 today. Although I'm going down on MSTX big time, over 6%, with SPY and SCHD going up, I was able to be in the green for the day. So this is my main portfolio, and I try to drive more value from this. But this is not income oriented portfolio. I try to mainly see growth with QQQ, SPY, and SCHD in the combination with few single stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AbbVie, and Amazon. So that is it pretty much. And I hope you guys will like this video, and let me know what you think of KQQQ, if you have invested in KQQQ, or if you are thinking or planning to invest in it in future. And I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself and people around you. Goodbye.